When it comes to remodeling and renovating your home, there is no better show on your radio. This is Around the House with Eric G.
Everybody stop what you're doing, please!
From your back fence to the sidewalk, Eric will tell you how to keep it all in tip-top shape while helping you save a buck while doing it. If you like DIY projects, it takes a lot of practice to get good at it, and Eric is here to guide the way.
These are the wrong plans. These are the old plans.
All that and more on the fastest 2 hours of home improvement radio.
Stop it! Stop what you're doing!
Welcome to Around the House with Eric G.
Welcome to Around the House with Eric G. This is the Pro Insider Special. This is where we talk about stuff for the building, construction, design trades out there in the residential world. Thanks for joining me today. Well, today I wanted to talk about a hot subject that is happening all across the United States today. And this is going to be called, do you know your best employees are trying to be stolen by your competitors? And if you don't believe me, it's happening right now. Because there is such a hiring need across the country. And what happens is since we have been failing on bringing the trades up, we are now going to be robbing from each other because we don't have enough people entering the workforce. So that means your best people are trying to go someplace else, and they don't even know it yet. So my question to you today is, what are you doing to keep your A-team together? Because if you're in the construction world, if you're a contractor, there is somebody else going, you know, that person over on their team's pretty good. What could we do to get them? And if you don't think it's happening, you're fooling yourself. I know electricians across the country that are paying six figures. They're going to pay them a $20,000 signing bonus, and we'll pay for them to move coast to coast to get there. I know that's with the plumbers. I know there's heating and cooling people out there. I know there's designers, even retail, wholesale managers, that I know people that would pay big money to take from a competitor to put them on their team to fill that opening. So let's talk about that a little bit today on our Pro Insider podcast. Because one of the things that you can do is just to have a better company culture where people look forward to going to work every day. And if you're the owner or general manager, that's your ship that you're steering there, partner. And that comes down to, are you creating a healthy work environment for your people? Do they feel appreciated? Are they learning? Are they growing? Do they have a place to go? Do they know that, you know, where they can work? And here's an interesting one. I was talking to a friend who works in the radio industry. And it's interesting in the radio industry to push this over into our world as well, because that's both my world and the construction design industry. It was interesting because he started working in a non-union shop that was a non-union radio shop, got a job later in life at a union one. And his comment was, you know, to get paid a dime more, I had to fight. I really had to fight just to get 50 cents an hour or $1 an hour more every few years. And he said, with the union shop, I knew what I'm making next year. I know what my wage is going to be next year because it's all laid out. And this here isn't a debate whether it's union, non-union for whatever you're doing. But my point is, you as a business owner can lay out a development plan for each one of your workers and say, okay, if you keep crushing it, this is what you're going to make. But if you hit these goals, like they do with football players, baseball players. If you hit these goals, then I'll pay you this much. You know, if you've got a team that's working really well and they have the ability to push a little harder and make more money, and you make more money as a business owner, there's a way to do that and bonus them out. You know, think about it. A football player makes it into the playoffs. They make more money. They make it to the Super Bowl. They make more money. Why can't you do that with your team? What can you do to make it where your A team goes, there's no way I'm leaving this gig? They understand me. I've got a development plan. We have fun. We work hard. I'm appreciated. Maybe we have benefits. Maybe I've got vacation time. They let me have time with my family. If I'm not feeling good, they want me to stay home and not give it to everybody else. These are all the basics. And if you're not delivering on those basics, man, those people are going to go someplace else. And I can promise you that is going to hurt your business, period. And that's something to be concerned about. You don't want to lose those 18 players to somebody else, because not only are they going to take your best practices and mesh those with your competitors and give them some of your ideas, now you've lost the bandwidth that you had there too, and you've got to go find somebody. It's expensive to train people. You know, I know a kitchen and bath business in Seattle, and they have a very, very difficult company culture. I mean, it is toxic as toxic gets. And they have a few people that are there, but they've got an 80 or 90% turnover year to year to year. Because people get in there and go, wow, this is not what I think it is. I'm out of here. They've got cameras. If you look at their reviews online, they talk about employees being scared to work in there because they've got cameras over their desks with microphones. The owners can watch them. You know, just a horrible, toxic environment. Who would want to work there? Now, if you created some of that and what you thought the best interest of the company was, and that's hurting your employees. So my point today is take a look inside your organization. Do you have a development plan for each employee? Do you have a plan for what happens if one of your A team members go? Do you have somebody that's in the B team that you can train to get on the A team? And how are you bringing new people in to fill those holes as they happen? If someone decides they want a career change, or they're moving across the country, or they've got to do something else, or their husband or wife gets transferred and they're moving out of the way, what happens on your growth? Have that development plan, and you're going to be better off. It's almost like baseball, and you got the minor leagues and you got the major leagues. Who's coming up in your team? What's your plan? And if you don't have that plan, you've got a problem that you need to resolve quickly, because other people are going to resolve it for you. So appreciate those people. It's summertime. Have those outdoor barbecues, you know, on a Friday afternoon or a lunch. You know, give some people some time. Plan some outdoor outings where maybe it's a Saturday barbecue if you're just jammed up busy, or you're all going to the lake, or whatever you're doing. But treat them well. Doesn't have to be expensive. But some of those appreciation things mean more to them than what you think. And if you lost 20% of your company and a couple little things that would have been changes to your plan would have been so easy compared to having to push out projects because you don't have the team there to handle it. I wish you well. If you have any questions on any of these things, head over to aroundthehouseonline.com and you can message me over there, as well as, if you need even more information on consulting, we do that as well. But really, treat those people well, make sure they're feeling loved, and you'll have a great company moving forward. And be open with them. If there's problems, like there always are in business, make sure they understand. Don't let them find out the hard way. you can communicate issues because maybe they're going to be part of that solution, which gives them power, and you want them to have that power because that means they're going home happy every day, and you've got a strong business. Well, coming up this weekend around the house, we have got no interviews. We've got a lot of different subjects we're going to be diving into that you don't want to miss. I'm not going to talk about them here now because I'm going to leave a little bit of a surprise here, but we're going to talk about, well, lots of different stuff, including how to keep your house cool and some kind of backyard tricks of keeping it cool and how to do it if you don't have a central heating and air conditioning in your house. That's going to be one of our summer tricks and tips as well as some basement concrete repair, how to fix that broken concrete. Maybe that's a foundation wall or you got a crack in it. We're going to talk about that as well. If you're not into doing concrete repair yourself as a contractor, I'm going to give you some tips that might be something you could get into yourself. Have a great rest of the week, everybody. Thanks for listening Around the House. We'll see you on Saturday.
Around the House with Eric G. is produced by Designed by Eric G. in association with Salem Media and distributed nationally by the Sun Broadcast Group. All rights reserved. Copyright 2020 Designed by Eric G. We will be back next week. If you missed part of the show, check out the podcast of all of our shows at AroundTheHouseOnline.com. Remember, measure with a micrometer, mark with caulk, and cut with an axe. Thanks for listening to Around the House.